What's up guys, welcome to your 60-second tutorial, and in these upcoming tutorials I'm going to be teaching you guys how to animate something aside from just movement. So let me go ahead and I'm going to be teaching you guys how to animate a material. In other words, when you're playing the game, make a material on a static mesh change color. So let's go ahead and build a real simple material. I'm going to go ahead and open my content browser, and remember way back when I made this package called Lucky's Awesome Package. I'm just going to go ahead and build a material in here by creating new material, and I'm just going to name this material barbecue. I guess I don't know why, first thing that popped in my head. I guess I might be hungry or something. And now I guess I can go ahead and expand this. I'm going to go ahead and just add a simple color to this. I'm going to make it the most basic material that I possibly can. So I'm going to go ahead and right click, and under parameters I'm just going to go ahead and select, if I can find it, new vector parameter. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this into diffuse, which is the overall color of a material, and in my parameter I'm just going to give it a red of 1. So basically I just have a red material. Again, a parameter is like a list that has R, G, B, and A value. Mine's 1, which means all red, no green, no blue, and 1 alpha. That pretty much means you can't see through it at all. So again, a very basic material using a parameter list. And again, what we're going to be doing eventually is in Matinee we're going to be editing these parameters of this list. So if we change 1 to 0 and we turn green from 0 to 1, then this material is going to turn from red to green. So that's what we're going to be basically doing. But check it out. Whenever you build a material, you don't just have one parameter list. You usually have 10 or 20 different parameter lists. So we need to give this parameter list a name so we can identify it later on. And since we're going to be applying this material to the door, we're just going to put like door, or what you put, like doors main color. So now this parameter has a name. So whenever we write, alright, we're in Matinee right now and we want to modify doors main color, it knows that we want to modify this parameter list right here. So let me go ahead and just save that right now. And again, all we did right there is we made a really basic material. However, check this out. In the UDK, whenever you're playing your game, they set it up where you can't modify your materials directly because it's just too much on memory and it's too much on your processor. So what they did is they created something called a material instance. Now these material instances were kind of like versions of the same material. However, they were meant to be modified during game time. So in order to turn this material into a material instance, in other words a material that we can edit in Matinee, go ahead and right click it and hit create new material instance constant. And now go ahead and right click this, and by default you have the name of your material with an instant. Again, go ahead, click OK, and it looks good. So now we have our main material in our material instance constant. Now again, like I said, this is basically just a version of your material. It's the exact same thing, except that this material instance constant we can modify in Matinee and Kismet, wherever we want to modify it. So in order to apply this material instant constant to the static mesh, go ahead and just drag and plop it right on there. And now you can see our static mesh is red, just like our material. Pretty cool, huh? So before I forget, let me just go ahead and save this package, and also I'm going to right click it and make sure it's fully loaded, just like me. And I think everything looks good to go right now. So that's all I want to teach you guys in this tutorial. Again, the things I want to go over is this. Whenever you make a material, go ahead and name your parameter, because whenever we're editing it in Matinee, it needs to know what parameter we want to edit. And since we're going to be wanting to change the overall color, we name this parameter doors main color. And again, anytime you want to change a material during game time, you need to make a material instance constant, because materials were made kind of for static meshes, materials that aren't going to be changing. Material instant constants were made for materials that are going to be changing in matinee and stuff like that. So in order to do that, go ahead and right click your material and hit new material instance constant and apply it to your static mesh. So now that you got that figured out, you're ready to move on to the next part of this tutorial, which I'm going to be making in the next video. But for now, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys then.